going to, there's going to be a slight delay. So I'm going to look over on YouTube, make sure that it fires. It's usually about 30-second delay.
Nothing yet.
I know, I'm watching it. I'm always, oh, did it come? Came on? Good. Oh, did it?
Yeah, so
it's up. Okay, good. All right. Well, I like to give people a few minutes to join us, right? I usually give it 3-4 minutes to get a few more to join us. So welcome to those that are first dialing in. Do we dial in? Clicking in, I guess. So we are live. Okay, good. Hey, there's some people. There's some chat. Hey, guys. Looks good. Sound is okay. You are live. Good, Jeff. Thanks, man. Sorry for the clear question. You got kind of a. Oh, here, hang on a second. All right. So one thing at a time. So to Joe and Benjamin, guys, can you hear me all right? You guys hear me all right? Joe and Benjamin? You guys hear me? Yeah. Yes. Okay, good. So listen, guys, if you don't have a mic or something, I get sent the wrong link on the first email. So I apologize for that. Are you able to see in that private chat, the YouTube link? It's just, you guys are in as co-hosts, and that's just my mistake on the link that I grabbed the other day. If you just go to our YouTube, or you can see that right there, Bobber just posted the correct link. If you guys will go there, then you'll be able to see everything, and we'll get started in just a moment or two. I'm going to go ahead and click you guys out of here. Okay, so Benjamin, sounds like he gets it. So I'm going to remove here. This is for Tamer. Tamer, can you hear me all right? Tamer? Just if you can't, just so you see here in the private chat, do you see that YouTube link? I made a mistake the other day. I grabbed the wrong link in the email that I sent. So if you just go over to our YouTube channel, the Trade Devils Indicators YouTube, and there's a couple of links right here in the private chat, if you're able to see those, that will get you to the webinar. And if you're in our Discord, you can see the links there as well. Okay, so Benjamin's good. So it's now Tamer Rushton. Tamer, if you'll just do that for us, you'll be able to participate there. If that's okay. All right. So Tamer, I'm gonna click you out of here, and just we'll look for you over on the YouTube channel. Okay, got it. Okay, can't wait to see what you have done. All right, I like it. People with bated breath. All right, we'll get started in just a minute here. I apologize. Some of you guys are recognizing that we had a little mistake, my mistake, in the first link I sent out. So there's Tamer coming back. So Tamer, can you hear me? It looks like, bear with me, guys. Tamer, can you hear me? You got to join us on the YouTube channel. It's my mistake the other day. Do you see in the private chat right there where Bobber has posted the correct link? You see that, Tamer? Or I don't know if I'm saying your name right. You forgive me if not. Muhammad, hi, Bobber. Yeah, everybody's good. Yeah, I guess he saw that. Okay, thanks, Tamer. Okay, right. All right. So how are we doing? Is it 30? We'll give it fun. One more minute. We'll get rolling here. All right. Figured I was going to have a little cleanup to do on that. Oh, these practice webinars are so helpful. Okay. Well, let's see. We'll give it another 30 seconds here. We'll get rolling. The market's starting to move. All right. So I'm going to get out of ranging and go to trending. That's a nice little move we just had there. Interesting. It'll be interesting now, as we're doing this right at the lunch hour, what kind of movement we get. All right, looks like everybody got the heads up on the right link, right? So we have no more coming in. All right, so let's see, Simon, I got you. So everybody's mic is hot, just FYI, right? On the TDU team or TDI team. All right, we got another couple of secs. Nice little move into a double top there. We have 20. Okay, there we go. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, guys, welcome to all. Thanks for joining us. We are kind of excited to show you what we've been working on. This is entirely TDI Dev, or Irwin, right? Some of you know him as Irwin. TDI Dev has been working on this for months, trying to create something that would allow for customization of the AutoTrader without a degree in code and what are the C++, whatever it is, right? It's beyond me. So he's been working on making this visual so that anyone who had an idea could do it in kind of a graphic. Okay, well, this makes sense. Well, this is above that and below that. So you don't need that coding language to create a signal. So that's kind of the focal point of what we're going to focus on today. But I know some of you may not have seen what the AutoTrader actually does. So I thought we would start with just a brief demo of what it's doing and how it can be used to your advantage. I will just one point of caution for anyone that has either trialed it or considering trialing it. It's not the kind of tool that you turn on and just let it run. That is the antithesis of what it's designed to be. It's when you're approaching an area of interest. So whether it be long, short, some resistance, support, whatever it may be that has you thinking, this is an area where either I want to be entering the market or I'm looking for some sort of a retracement. And it's just going to be able to recognize these technical events much faster than you and I can do it, right? I mean, it just is going to recognize 2 or 3 events while we're thinking, oh God, is that all right? Is that are those trap traders? Is that a delta flip? Is that, while you're trying to figure that out, the signal has already come and gone. So it's that efficiency, which is really what it's designed to be, is an assistant to what you're seeing in the market. Right, so there's mine firing because I'm running it as well while we're talking. So I think as TDI Dev walks you through it, you'll get a feel for it. And he's got just a rudimentary footprint up, but right, there's no need for all of the extensive kind of parameters that you can put into your footprint. You can just work with something basic like that, where he's just got the value areas highlighted in the POCs. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to you, Irwin, and let you show them a little bit about this masterpiece you've created.
Thank you, Sam. Hi, guys. So sorry for my voice. I'm having a little bit of the cold, but I hope you can hear and understand me correctly. So just a small recap of the AutoTrader we have. Maybe some of you already saw it before, maybe you don't. As Sam explained, it allows you to trade order flow signals. So I'm adding it to my chart, as you can see right now. And when you add it and you enable it, you get a whole bunch of buttons on your chart trader with all kinds of standard signals which you can choose to trade. For example, the stacked imbalances or the volume sequencing. And those already work pretty good by itself. But we also had an option to create your own signals. And that's where things, of course, get interesting. Because people always want to create their own signals. But in the previous versions, that would require you to code it. And we found out that that's a big hurdle to take for most people. Most people just want to define their own signals in an easy to understand way without having to deal with code. So that's what we've been working on lately. And that's what I'm trying to demo here. So as Sam said, I have just a basic footprint indicator on. You can use hours, you can use any other. Doesn't matter. Although if you use a third-party one, it might not able to show you all these signals. So it might be a little bit difficult to verify if what you're doing is okay. But still, you can use any footprint or no footprint at all. So let's go to the signal designer. What's new in this version is, well, you can see the standard signals, but we also have here custom signals. And as soon as I click that, you will see 16 untitled boxes where you can define your own signals. And you do that by clicking on the pencil. Now, before we do that, let's see if we can define a simple signal. And I want to look at what's called a POC wave. And what's a POC wave? You can see an example right here. It's when we have a red bar followed by a green bar, which is lower, and then another green bar. And that's for the long. And you can see the POC here is basically making a wave from here lower and then back up again. That's one of the signals we can create. It's not possible to create that with the default signals, but you can do it with the designer. Now, if we look at this signal we want to build, you can see it's a 3-bar signal where the current bar is green, the previous bar is green, and then the bar before that is red. And then we have the POC here is higher than here, and this POC is lower than here. So those are basically the rules we want to use for our signal. So let's try to create that. So I'm going to click and let's give it a name, POC wave. And now you can see on the left you see the conditions we have to create, and on the right you can see the condition for both the long and the short side.
Erwin, can you make that a little bigger? Will that window allow you to make it bigger? Yeah, okay. There's just a little hard to see it with the. That's good. That's good. Much better.
Yeah, is this better?
Good. Yeah, good. Thanks.
So let's start with the first one, and that's this. If we look at the current bar, which is this bar, it should be green. So you can select it here, current bar for the long, and then the type, we have bar direction. And if you choose bar direction, you can choose green bar, red bar, doji bar, etc. We have price, where you can just select the bar, high, low, close, and compare it with another bar, for example. We have time, where you can, for example, create some time limits. Of course, we have the order flow signals, which has all the order flow signals you can think of. And we have swing low and swing high. So we're going to start with something basic, just the bar direction, and it should be a green bar. And for the short, it should be a red bar. It's always the opposite. So then we have this bar defined. And then we're going to look at that bar, this bar, which is basically the same thing. It should also be a green bar. So that's easy. Again, bar direction. I'm going to, green bar, yeah. And here also bar direction. And this then is a red bar. A red bar. So now we said this is a green bar, this is a green bar, and finally we have to do the last bar, and that's a red bar. And let me fix one thing. This is the previous bar, of course. And the last one is is then 2 bars ago, and that should be a red bar. Bar direction, red bar for the longs, and for the shorts it's the opposite, where you go to a green bar. So already we have now defined 3 rules that we want: a green, green, red. And now it's time to look at the order flow signals itself. We can easily add those as well. So for example, for the current bar, which is this bar, we want the POC to be above the POC of the previous bar. So again, I'm going to add a new condition. And in this case, I'm going to select the order flow signals. I'm going to say, well, the POC, there it is, should be greater than the order flow signal. And again, POC, and that's from the previous bar. And you'll know that's also, it gives the description right here for the long signal. So it says the POC of the current bar is greater than the POC of the previous bars, which is pretty self-explanatory.
That's nice, right? So you're not wondering if you got it right.
Exactly. Yeah. And of course, you also have to do the short side. So again, order flow, POC, and in that case, it should be less than the POC. So now we have the POC of this bar is greater than the POC of the previous bar. And finally, we have to look at this bar where the POC is higher than this bar. So the last condition then would be that for the previous bar, the order flow POC should be greater than bar 2 bars ago, order flow, and again POC. And for the short, it's just the other way around. 2 bars ago, order flow, and then POC should be less than POC. And now basically we have defined the entire signal we want to trade. So now we can, for example, save it as POC wave. And close the designer. And when we do that, you can now see that untitled has changed to the POC wave. So if we want to trade it, we have to click it to enable it. And when you enable it, it becomes green. And we're going to arm the trader. And from now on, it will trade the signal. If we want to see how it was doing with historical data, you can just reload the script. And then it will calculate all the historical trades. And you notice that I have the Ninja script output window open on the right side, because there you can see all the trades it's taking in the background. So we can see it's busy now for the current day. And we're just going to wait a couple of seconds for it to finish. And then hopefully if we did everything correctly, we should see a trade appearing for this bar. Still calculating. Not yet. Let's see. Markers are on. What did I do wrong? Did I do anything wrong? Current bar green, previous bar green, 2 bars ago. Is red, yeah. Current bar greater than the previous bar, and the previous bar. This should be, of course, less than. This POC should be less than this bar. So there we go. Sorry about that. Let's do it again. And while we were waiting, I see some questions coming in, Simon.
Yeah, I was just waiting until you had a moment there, Erwin. Yes, there's a couple of questions here. There's one from Mohammed. He's just wondering how we could potentially define a swing high or a swing low.
Oh, I'm coming to that. I will
Okay.
demonstrate the swing highs and swing lows in a moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ivan has got another question as well about if we can expect any ready-made strategies in the near future. I said we don't have anything right now, but it's obviously something we're potentially looking at for the near future.
Yeah, we do have Skev, who's running the live room with us, is using the AutoTrader heavily, and he does provide automated strategies for the AutoTrader for those who are interested. Yeah, so that might be an option. So after changing this, you can now see it's opening a trade here, and it hits its target right there. So here you have just a simple example of how to define your own signal. Here's another one for the short side. And well, you see a couple of more if you scroll back. If you want to see how the strategy performs, then of course you can use the strategy analyzer to backtest it or even optimize it. Another tip is to use the strategy performance report, like here. And here you can see the results. Now in this case it's not very good, but yeah, that's not really the point, of course, at the moment. It just shows you how quickly you can define your own signal, and from now on it would be just well, looking at the losers and coming up with extra rules to avoid some of those losers. And one of those could, for example, be the swing high, swing low. Another thing you can change is the ATM strategy. This was something which was already in the previous version as well, but we added a better interface for it. So you don't have to go to the strategy settings, and you can now change it on the fly. So we have the scalp and an optional runner you can define. You can define the position sizing, how many contracts to trade, where you want to put your stop loss, if you want to have a break even, and if so, what should it be based on. You can specify your targets in ticks or a risk reward or in dollars, and you can have also a trailing stop if you want. So that's another thing you can customize. And of course, you can also do the same for the runner if you like. Are there any questions so far about this part, or is it clear? I don't hear any questions yet. So there was a question about the swing low and swing high. So what you could do, for example, is if we go back to our auto designer, we could add another condition and say that for the long, we want to have the previous bar on a swing low. So then we go to the previous bar. We're going to swing low, and we can give it a strength. So it should be the lowest bar of the last 5 bars. You can change the number. Oh, it's now opening a trade, as you can see. And the same for the short side. The previous bar should be at a swing high. And let's save that. And close this trade.
Order filled.
And rerun the script. And now you will see that it only takes trades when it's at a swing low or swing high. And of course, you define the strength of the swing filter. So it's running again, it's calculating the trades. And there you go. Well, let's see if we can find a few trades here. So for example, this one, it opens one here because here you can see the POC. And this bar is the highest bar of the last 5 bars. Same here, this bar is the highest bar of the last 5 and more bars. And here you can see this one is the lowest bar. So the swing filter is indeed working. And with the performance analyzer, you can check if it's made any difference. And it made a huge difference, as you can see, because now we made $2,400 just by adding a simple swing filter.
That's a good example of the process that we kind of hope people go through. You get an idea, you get started, and then it's the refinement, right? So, you know, for those of us that like to tinker with this kind of thing, that's the fun part, right? Is kind of, oh, if I tweak it a little bit, or the highest bar in 5 bars, would that tweak it? That process, you know, hopefully that's something. It's obviously not something you want to do while the market's open, but while you're doing a little prep work, you know, that's kind of the treasure hunt.
Yeah, exactly. I compare it a little bit with Lego, where you build something. So you have an idea and you start building a signal, and then when you have it, you start optimizing it by looking at the losers and coming up with ideas how to avoid.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course, there will always be losers. That's part of trading. But yeah, if you can come up with rules to avoid some of them, you don't need much, as you can see, just saw, to change a losing strategy in a winning strategy. So, Simon, do we have any more questions, or should I go on with the next example to build?
I think one of the questions that's cropped up a couple of times there from a couple of people is around the possibility, whether it's now or in the future, of being able to add other custom indicators, whether that's a TDU indicator, whether it's another indicator, as a, obviously as an extra filter.
Yeah, that's a good question. It's not possible at the moment to add conditions for other indicators. So it's purely order flow and the other signals you saw here. So the bar direction, the price where you can choose the highlight close and things like that. But it's not possible to choose other indicators at the moment. It's something we are looking in. I'm not sure if it's going to be a separate product then, or it's going to be in this product, but it's definitely something we will think about to be able to add.
Yeah, that would be a lot of complexity, I would think. For most people, assuming you had the screen real estate, you might have this running next to a candlestick chart or whatever you're using for traditional technical analysis, and it's when you zero in on those areas of interest where this really starts to shine, because you're like, so I'm interested in perhaps selling at this zone. And then that's the work that you've done in advance to where you're turning it on. So the fact that an RSI might be at 85, might be the clue, like, hey, do I want to turn this on, looking for short signals with the following conditions? So it lends itself to that, that look back and forth between a traditional chart and a footprint chart.
Yeah. I see a question popping up. Can we use the commitment of traders or delta? Yes, you can. If you go to the order flow, you have all the order flow signals and values here. So you have delta, you have the commitment of traders, high, low, cumulative delta. Well, we already saw the POC, the ratio. So basically everything our footprint indicator can show, you can use here, which is a lot, as you can imagine. About the code, somebody's asking, can you still use code? Yes, you can still use code. You have a separate tab here. So if you already have custom signals coded, you can still use them. Just put them in there and they will still work. But for those who want to use the designer, it's not possible to see the code which is generated by these rules, because there is no code. At the moment, these are executed in real time, and we are not converting them to code first and then compiling the code and then running them. So performance-wise, the rules you design here is way better. As you saw me doing, you can save them to disks. So I have a couple of them right here. So you can load them later. But it's not it's something else. It's not like the code. Yeah. I am Gourmet. He's asking, I have an older version of this. How do I update it? Well, you can simply go to our website, log in, and download the latest version. Note that if you never logged into our website before, then you have to create an account and register. And after logging in, then you can download the version. So it's important to note, this is a pretty big update, but this update will be free for our current customers. So that's a big bonus for those people who already invested in this product.
Big bonus.
Yeah, big bonus, yeah. So if there are no more questions, I want to look at a slightly more complicated example, because let me find an example where we can which we can use for this. Yeah, I think this one will do. So example I'm now want to show is the value area gap. That's also one of the standard signals right here. And what is a value area gap is when the value areas are not overlapping. So for example, here we have a bar, and the next bar, you can see the value area is a little bit lighter. And why is it lighter? Because it's not overlapping with the previous bar. If it is overlapping, like in this bar with here, then it's dark green, same here. And then here you can see another value area gap. So of course you can customize all those colors in the footprint indicator. But that's what we're going to start with. It's pretty simple. It's just two green bars, where the second bar, the current bar, has a value area gap, and then we are going to take it from there and extend it a little bit more. So I'm going to create a new signal and call it value area gap. Value area.
Make that thing as big as you can, so because
yeah, I will.
So because the resolution's not perfect. If it's bigger, it's a little easier to see.
Yeah, I still want to see the chart a little bit.
Yeah, so that's good though, just so they can see the process while you're building it.
Okay. So again, we start with defining our conditions on the left side, and that's basically that the current bar again needs to be a green bar. So bar direction is green. And for the short, the bar direction is a red bar. And for the second bar, it should be the same. Green bar. Bar direction is green, and that's the previous bar. And then we going bar direction is red. So two green bars for the long side. And then we want to have a value area gap in the current bar. So we're going to add another condition and say the current bar is an order flow signal, and it has a value area gap, and it is a bullish one, a bullish value area gap, and that should be true. And for the short side, we do the same thing, but then a bearish value area gap, and that should also be true. And that's the base of our signal. So we can see if this is already working. So I'm going to save this value area gap. Okay. And let's run it and see if we get its signal indeed here. And it's basically the same signal we see right here now, but let's see.
It's my favorite signal.
Yeah, it's very powerful.
I wait for those. I don't even enter until I see one of those.
Yeah, the font size is a little bit small, Ramir. I hope you can still see it, but that's nothing I can do at the moment.
Yeah.
So a couple of questions there, Owen, whilst that's generating. Obviously, somebody's mentioned about font size. So I guess if there's anything we can do about having that as editable, changeable, etc., I guess that'd be good.
Where do you mean, Simon? In the?
I guess it's just that whole box, really, the whole designer box.
Oh, the designer box.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you run it on your own screen, it's probably fine. But here in the live stream, it might be a little bit small indeed.
Yeah, there's some compression.
Somebody's asked, can we use or insert ChatGPT generated pseudocode to implement our ideas?
Well, I'm not sure if ChatGPT is suitable for creating code, but if you get it to create the code, you can put it in right here, like before.
I don't think it would know enough about the footprint.
I don't know. It's
give it another month or two. It'll, yeah, eventually.
And then Christopher Hoffman as well has just said quickly, this is exciting from a coding standpoint, but how does this translate into making money? Seems difficult. Would be nice if you guys could guide. Well, again, you've just shown one simple strategy there. The first one up was on a back test was making money, wasn't it? So and that's just a very simple. Took 2 minutes to design.
It's not like we are providing you a profitable strategy and saying, well, you can make millions with this. We're providing you the tools to create your own strategies based on order flow. And as far as we know, there are no other tools in the market which allow you to do this. So if you
can code it, but you can't do it like this.
You cannot do it like this if you are not into coding. Then now you can create your own signals, backtest it, optimize it if you want, and come up with your own signals and your own ideas. So that's
Yeah,
the whole.
at the end of the day, I see it that there's plenty of these shillers and scammers out there that will promise to make you a millionaire tomorrow with your own Lambo. It's all we're trying to do is sell an honest product that will do what it says on the tin, and we're not guaranteeing that it will make you ultra profitable, but it will certainly assist you in that process, I believe. And that that's from me as a kind of past customer. That's how I've started with you guys, as you know. So.
Yeah, and it's like I said, we have Skev, who's running a live room and is heavily invested in the automation part, in the AutoTrader. And he's running several profitable strategies which are really making money using this. So if you're really looking into templates which work and have been backtested, and then that might be an option for you. But then you have to contact Skev and ask him about it. But if you want to create your own, then you just saw that's another option.
Well,
so
that's kind of what I was talking about before. That's the treasure hunt.
Yeah,
that's the fun part, right? I mean, you have to kind of like doing that.
Yeah. But some people like to play with Lego, and others just want a
just build it for me, right?
Yeah, just play with it and don't want to build it for you. There's some. Okay, so we can see it opened the trade for the value area gap. So one of the things I would add again is, of course, a swing low high filter. So let's add a swing low and a swing high filter right here.
That question came up earlier as to how you're defining that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty simple. If you look at this bar, and I put a swing filter on this bar of 5, then it just means that it should be the lowest bar of the last 5 bars. And the same goes for
so you're using the 5-bar filter. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, I'm now using a 5-bar filter right here, but you can change the string. If you want 10 bars or 20 bars, then of course that's also possible, and it should be the previous bar. So, but then you come to a point where, okay, we have said that this should be the lowest bar. We said this should be have a value area gap. It should be 2 green bars, but is it enough, or do we want some extra confluence?
I want more.
Yeah, maybe you would want more, right? But then the question is, what would you like? Well, maybe
delta. I want delta.
Delta could be an option, or maybe stacked imbalances, or maybe you want some market sequencing. Or maybe you just say, well, if any of those appear in this bar, then I think that's enough confluence, and then I want to open the trade. So I want those conditions to appear, and then something else. And that's where the groups come in. Because for now, we only added conditions, and if all conditions were true, then it opens a trade. But you can add groups or subgroups. So let's open a new group. And you can see
stacked imbalances. Somebody wants, Erwin? Give them stacked imbalances.
I'll add that as well. And so it opens a subgroup, and I'm going to put that as an OR. And basically now it's we open a trade when all these conditions are true, and or any conditions I put below are true. So these should all be valid, and then one of these should be valid as well. And you can, of course, combine it even more if you want. So you can go really bizarre with how many ANDs and OR logic you want to build. But let's keep it a little bit simple at the moment, and just add 2 or 3 of those. So stacked imbalances was one. So I'm going to say, well, I want stacked imbalances in here. So that should be bullish. And here, let's see, bearish stacked imbalances. And I want that to be true. Or maybe I want an exhaustion print in there. That's also very powerful. So I'm going to add an exhaustion print. Sell exhaustion print. Or maybe I want what else what kind of signals do we have? Let's see. Something which has momentum, like buy or sell volume sequencing, maybe. Buy or sell volume sequencing equals true. So we want 2 green bars, we want a value area gap, we want it to be a swing low, and then in this bar we want either stacked imbalance, an exhaustion print, or volume sequencing. One of the 3 or all 3, that's fine too. Save it. And let's reload it and see how it performs.
Couple of quick questions, Erwin, whilst you're
Sure. Yeah.
running that. Quick question from I am the Money, who's an old hand from the Discord. Just wanting to confirm that if we pick delta, can we make sure that it picks up the same delta we've got on our footprint?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And I just said you just need to make sure, obviously, the settings are the same between your footprint and the AutoTrader.
Yeah, that's of course very important, because let's say you're looking at imbalances, right? And your footprint chart has set to an imbalance percentage of, I don't know, let's say 200, which is not the default. Well, if you change it in your footprint indicator, then you also have to change it, of course, in your strategy, because otherwise the strategy will look at 400% and the indicator at 200%. So make sure those settings are the same, and then it will show the same settings indeed. Yeah, very nice, good point. Yeah. So it opened a trade still, and why did it open a trade? Probably because we have buy. Let's see, do we have volume sequencing in here? Yeah, we do. So here we have volume sequencing. Let's also enable the stacked imbalances and the exhaustion prints. Those are already on. And here's another one, and you can see now the first one here we had volume sequencing, which caused it to open a trade. But if you go back here, you can see that it has stacked imbalances and even volume sequencing. So it has 2 and an exhaustion print. So this is your most optimal setup. It has all 3. Let's scroll back and see if we can find another trade. Okay, here we have a long of this one, which just has an exhaustion print. Here we have one which also just has an exhaustion print. So you're already going to see, well, maybe this exhaustion print is not enough. Here we have another long, also just an exhaustion print. And here we have a short with a volume sequencing inside it. So yeah, that's basically how you can add and ors and make the signal more complex and according to your rules. Yeah.
Another quick question. Somebody's just interested in how they would trade I am Gourmet, how they would trade a reversal, for example, a 3-bar reversal with a pin bar.
The 3-bar reversal with a pin bar. Well, that's not that difficult. Let's say
It's going to be if it's long, then it'd be 2 red followed by a green, and then obviously is a pin bar as well, I guess, is it?
Do we have a pin bar in the section? Oh, we do.
Yeah, we do. Bar type, yeah.
So we can say, well, the current bar should be a green bar. For the red, the current bar should be a red bar, and then the previous bar should also should be a red bar then. Should be a red bar, and the previous bar should be here it is a green bar, and the previous bar should also in that case should be a pin bar. So am I correct? You said a 3-bar signal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 3-bar reversal.
Well, wait a minute. Let me find one because I'm a little bit confused. Like here, this one. This is what you want. Yeah. Okay. So let's try again. Current bar is green. And here it's red. Second bar is also green. And here it's red. Oh. And then the previous bar is also a pin bar. So then we have here, it's that's basically a hammer. And the other way is an inverted hammer. That's the previous bar. And then 2 bars ago is a red bar. It's a red bar. And 2 bars ago is a red bar. And maybe you want to add the swing filter as well here. So the swing low for the previous bar, 5, and the previous bar, the swing high. That should be right. So the current bar is green, the previous bar is green, the previous bar is a hammer like we see here. And this should be a red bar. And this should be the lowest bar of the 5 last bars. So reversal. And this is just pure price action. It has nothing to do with order flow, but yeah, of course you can make.
You could do it with just price action, right? I mean, you could do this without the footprint stuff if you wanted to.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty powerful.
So Mohammed is asking second slot imbalances. Yes, those are supported. What else kind of questions do we have while it's running? Or do both? Yeah, you can also use price action with order flow. Pete is asking if this is a strategy. Yes, it is, Pete. It's indeed a strategy. So here you can see the pin bar. Yeah. Let's see if we can find another one. Here's another one. Here we have one, which is in the end it is a loser, but you can see red, green, pin bar, green, and then turns around, pulls back a little bit before going higher. And here we have a nice pin bar, so green, red, and then
dropping POCs too would be something you might.
Yeah. Of course, you can extend it again like you wish.
Yeah, I mean, look at from that pin bar, every POC goes lower.
Yeah. Okay. Do we have any more questions? Because
someone was asking if absorption could be programmed in there, which I think yes.
Yeah, absorption is also in here. It's under the order flow signal, so it's by default the bullish or bearish absorption. So that's one of the signals you can use. Yep.
So if it identified absorption, that could be one of the if this is. So if I see this sequence, I've got a pin bar and I've got absorption. Boom, fire a trade.
Yeah, that would be possible indeed. Yeah.
And now everything we're doing, I think, we're doing in trending mode.
Yeah.
Right. Probably worth mentioning that the ranging mode, because with markets certainly, I mean, they range most of the time. So something to maybe just mention as the alternative when we go. So lunch hour, time when the market's just in rotation, that can be an alternative way to approach it.
Yeah, exactly. It's always good to look at what the market is doing. And of course, if it's in a range like here, where we are just let me see if I can do something. So, well, maybe something like here.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, of course, you want to. It's reversed, right? Now you want to short the top,
By the low, right?
Buy the low, and that's where the trending versus ranging markets come from. If you put it to ranging, it just inverts all the signals. So a long will become a short, and a short will become a long. For the beginners, I would suggest leave it in trending market and just enable it when you see that the conditions are okay. And if it's choppy like here, then it's best to pause it because making money in markets like this, where everything is going sideways, is very hard to do.
Quick question from Joyce. Owen, in bar stats, can the number of imbalances on each side be added in as an update?
Not sure I understand the question.
Stacked imbalances,
Joyce?
bull and bear, I think is what he's saying. Or
yeah. The question about the stacked imbalances, what's
no, in the bar statistics, can the number of imbalances on each side be added in an update?
So maybe if you said, if I've got 3 stacked imbalances, then do this, or etc. So being able to use the number of stacked imbalances.
Yeah, I see what you mean. You would have to specify that over here. If you go to the strategy settings, you go to stacked imbalances, you can specify how many imbalances should be stacked on top of each other to become a stacked imbalance. So that would be the place where you change this. Yeah.
It's shown at the top of the bar stats. Yeah, that's something we'll have to look into, Joyce.
You mean right here in the bar stats?
Yeah, but that's more of a footprint thing, Joyce, rather than the actual footprint AutoTrader, I would suggest, because this is just concerned with signals rather than actually showing information as such.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she means it. Otherwise, Joyce, contact us in the Discord, and we can discuss exactly what you're trying to do.
Got one
Another quick question from Jeff. Oh, yeah, sorry, Sam.
You go ahead.
You
go ahead, Sam. That's what I was
what is the best way to backtest all these? Will bar replay be useful? And the answer ultimately is no. You want to be looking at a strategy analyzer for that, which Owen's, I think, has already demonstrated. So if you miss the start of this, then probably catch up.
Basically, there's 2 types of people. There's people who really like to use the strategy analyzer of Ninja, which is of course totally possible to use. But there's also people who like to do market replays and see that the trades being taken. And in theory, both should produce the same results. But the strategy analyzer, of course, will be much faster than the market replay. Because for market replay, you also have to download the data, right? Yeah, exactly. I am the money. Some people think market replay is more accurate. I don't think it is. But except there are 2 parties here, and both should work fine. It's whatever you desire. Yeah.
I think it's the option as well at the bottom. I think there's an option towards the bottom of strategy analyzer, which is the fastest or the most accurate. And I think 99% of people will run the fastest one, which will give you results fairly quickly. Whereas I think if you run the other one, I think it just disappears for about 4 months and comes back if you're lucky.
Yeah, and the issue with market replay is that you can change the speed, right? You can set it to 1 speed, 5 speed, 100 speed. But if you set it, for example, to 100 speed, or higher, and the NinjaTrader is just skipping ticks.
Yeah, it can't cope either. Yeah.
No, it's just skipping 100%. Them to go as fast as possible. But yeah, because it's skipping ticks, your strategy might perform different than in real time. Yeah.
Yeah. Ultimately, the only way of testing is forward testing, isn't it? So.
Yeah, that's the old. Yeah, true. Edward is asking, are the default settings for like the stacked imbalances? Yeah, the default settings are 3, and that's the same for our footprint indicators. All the all the signals have default settings, which makes sense, I guess. We are not setting things to 0 or letting you decide what you.
Yeah, they're all good starting points. To take it beyond
Exactly.
that, there would have to be a reason you're testing something specifically.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think that's it for today, unless there are more questions.
Well, let's mention that we've got a little promotion for this as we're about to now. As I understand, so we're not officially in release. We're still in beta, but we're about to release.
Yeah, the version you see here on screen can be downloaded from the website already. I did see one little bug that I'm going to fix. That's that you cannot change this number here, but that should be fixed tomorrow, and then.
Well, let's see. So we'll put some discount links on. I got some guy down here. I'll put some discount links below this video on YouTube for any that might like to make the investment, or maybe you've trialed or you want to try. Of course, we always recommend trial everything. So you make sure you're investing something that you understand and you like and can be useful to you. But we do have some discounting on this. So we've got 25% discount on the AutoTrader if you don't own it, right? And of course you'll get this version. And then if you are looking at the bundle of the AutoTrader and the footprint and the AutoTrader, that's a 35% discount. Those discount codes will be underneath the video, and of course anyone in Discord will.
I've just posted them quickly there as well, so I'm in the chat.
Okay, great. Sounds good. Okay. All right. Well, that was good. I know there's a couple of the resolution wasn't perfect for a couple of people. I've been talking to Chris Joe. His wasn't as good. But for the most part, hopefully you've got a gist of it, right? So much of this is now like, okay, now let me play with it, right? It's one thing to see somebody do it. It's another thing to get in there and say, okay, I would always suggest start with something simple, like drop dead simple, like a value area gap. See if you can get that to be profitable. Then if you're going to add something to it, make sure you understand why. All right, well, this is profitable. What makes it better? And then do some playing with it. And as I said, it's that treasure hunt kind of the idea. Maybe I come up with something that nobody else has come up with, and that combination can be kind of intriguing. So that's the fun part, right? If you like to noodle with it, it's a little cumbersome at first while you're getting used to it, but once you've done a few, then it starts to get faster and faster and faster.
Okay, thank you, Simon. Last couple of questions. Aramir is asking when the production version will be available. Well, it was available already, but like I said, we discovered just a last-minute bug right here, which I'm going to fix tomorrow morning, and then it will be ready. I am Gourmet. I tried to download it, but I don't see it on my NinjaTrader under strategies. You have to import it into NinjaTrader via tools.
Yeah, it's not an indicator. It's a strategy.
Import NinjaScript add-on, and then you can find it under strategies. So not under indicators, but under strategies. And the custom signals is in the second tab, so here, and not on the standard tab. Okay, I think those are all the questions at the moment. So
yeah, that's got it. Okay. All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us. Right. Well, just I'll reiterate. Right. It's trial. Right. Play with it. Make sure you're comfortable with it. And of course, we'll have a dedicated channel. Right. I'm sure we'll have a lot of questions about it. And with that, I guess we'll sign off. We appreciate you guys hanging with us, and we'll be doing more and more of these. So we'll keep you posted on that in the Discord as well as email. So with that, I wish you guys a good afternoon. Thanks to the team here, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Thanks, guys.